All right. Well, we already did one episode. This is episode number 2 with you. That other previous episode, we talked about that event that we just went to in Halton Hills. It was cool. There was like 15 people there. We were walking around Scottsdale Farm. It was nice to be in the front area. I saw a bunch of the shots that Robert guy posted with his little blue mix, which they looked pretty good. I was like, that was. I remember looking at him and seeing him taking that picture, and I was like, oh, got a little fan.
He came up from I think Burlington. Like a lot of people came from outside of the Georgetown, Acton area. Somebody came in from Toronto, I heard of, and then a lot from Milton. Yeah, and then I knew Robert came from Burlington. He was like right by the water. So yeah, a bit of a trek, but it was worth it. It was a good turnout.
It was cool to see that lady with that Leica.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see her shooting with it at all.
We were trying to figure out what model Leica it was.
Yeah.
I think I said it was a Lux. Something Lux.
Yeah, it's like a V-Lux.
A V-Lux, yeah. Everybody had a different camera. It was cool. It was a really good turnout, though. We had, like, the sun on our backs the whole time, and... Yeah.
We were sweating. Oh, my God. I wore jeans, too, just because I wanted to wear pants in, like, that long, grassy environment, but... It was a hot one.
Right through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had like 2 hats in my car, and when I locked my car when I was going to the group, I'm like, I'm gonna regret this.
Yeah, not having one.
Yeah, and then like the moment we started walking, I'm like, I have to like leave them. I can't turn around now.
True.
Okay, I'll just sweat through it the whole time.
No. Yeah, you did do a good job of that. Like I noticed the leadership skills were coming into play and talking about different places we could go. Or like. It's like, oh, we'll just wait a few more minutes for these people and then we'll like start to go. It's just like, okay, well, let's just go now and they'll see us and like that kind of thing. Yeah. I was really surprised when I came down that hill. Like I was telling Bianca, I was like, I'm pretty sure this parking lot's going to be full just because it is the weekend. And then we get there and I'm like, oh my God, there's like a whole group of people. This is crazy. I was like, I've never seen so many cameras in one moment.
It was cool.
Have you looked at any of the shots you got?
Yeah, some of them. I have some landscapes that I still have to go through. I just wrapped up a proposal, so that has definitely been like taking a little bit of time. But I wanted to make sure that it was done for the client and then get to the Scottsdale photos. But I went through some of them and they were all like, they were nice.
Nice, yeah.
A lot of like grassland, and I have some of the group shooting. A lot of them, we had a group shot at one point and a lot of them didn't want to be in it, which is fine. I think I took photos of like some of them that didn't want to be included. So true. Maybe I shouldn't post those, but yeah, I have photos of like the ambience and everybody there shooting with their cameras, and yeah, it was good. I mean, at the beginning, I was waiting for a few more faces to pull up, and then our friend Liam, he was late by a bit. He had some stuff to get done, but I was carrying like a big backpack the entire time. I wasn't even using the gear for like the most of it. All of it was kind of for him. I had like a Canon 1DX in my bag. I had a Fuji, 3 lenses, and I was like, okay, Liam better show up any minute because this bag is weighing down my back so much. So then 2 or 3 hours later, he's like, oh, I'm here. Okay, sweet, thank you. But yeah, it was cool. I'm glad we just had good weather, because everyone was kind of like hesitant about coming out so far, and then it rained or something, and so, yeah.
You shot with the Hasselblad the whole time, eh?
Yeah, good workout.
Yeah, for sure. I noticed there was one shot, like right when we were near one of the barns, which I like tried to replicate the shot that you had, where there was that little tree right in the middle, and it was like surrounded. Oh, it looked so cool.
Yeah, that was sweet. I did offload that one. That's done.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Did you make it look painterly?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had to get to that one.
Neat. The other thing I want to talk about was the engagement shoot. Those photos came out really well.
From the other day?
Yeah. I was really impressed. Like the look, they're like so like glowy. Like it almost looks like it's film with like a... What are those lenses that make...
The filter, or like a mist filter?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It had like a very glowing look to them.
Yeah. So that was a proposal. That was done at, I think, Allen Gardens in Toronto. Scheduled for 2 hours, went down, we shot 1 hour there, another hour was going to take place somewhere else, but with the photos that I offloaded, they came out really well. Like the lighting was beautiful. And because it was a greenhouse, we had like light falling in from every direction. And the shadows were really nice. The shadows, like the light was casting the shape of these leaves everywhere.
True.
So if you pull in on these photos, you can kind of see more detail than what your eye first notices. And yeah, they're really easy to work with and hot. Worse than sky. Humid.
Yeah.
It's a greenhouse, calls for that, but yeah, it was nice.
It's nice with those, like you can like put the gear down. You don't have to like carry it while you're walking around. You can kind of just...
There were benches everywhere, and so we both had our own bags. They had like clothing, extra outfits, and then I had my big camera bag, and I kept like putting it down. I'm like, okay, any chance I have of taking it off, I'm not gonna like walk around with this like turtle shell on my back the whole time. And
no chance.
No, but it was good. It was really nice. It wasn't busy, and yeah, it was just super sunny. And then I had black jeans on, of all things. Normally I'm wearing cargo pants for work, but I had black jeans, and yeah, so.
What did you shoot with?
For majority of it, I would say maybe 40 minutes worth of the hour. I had the XH1, the Fuji, yeah, and then I switched to the 1DX Mark II with a 35 f2. So it was good. I had 35 on both, 35 f2 both, but with the equivalent, like the XH1 is a crop, so it was kind of sitting at like 45, 50.
Sure, so 35 and 50. That's nice.
Little tight, but 2 focal lengths you can get away with. And you're not in too like of a confined area in a greenhouse. It was pretty well open, so it was nice to get bigger spreads and not have to worry about cropping at their feet or just shooting tight. You could kind of shoot as open as you wanted to, and there weren't too many obstructions. Not people walking in front of the camera.
I was gonna say, were there a bunch of people walking around? Or?
A little bit, but I guess when they noticed that a ring was kind of coming out, they knew like.
Oh yeah,
Parted like the sea, yeah, yeah. So it made my job a little easier, and yeah, it was nice. It was good.
What were you saying about that 135 that you were saying like it wasn't as good as you thought? Is that the one that was on the 1DX?
Yeah. A while back I got a Canon, which is actually pretty hard to find. It's a Canon 35 f2 with stabilization. I've seen one of those ever, and they're not mentioned too often, especially with the RF exchange. Now everyone's going to mirrorless, and I don't see them too often, but I got my hands on one, and it's been good for the most part, but the issue is with the autofocus. I think it gets soft on the edges, a little bit of aberration, and it softens a little bit. But when you want to move your focus point anywhere but the middle, it'll completely take away your focus. So if you want to like, even when you want to center it in the middle and you're shooting at f2, I'm normally at 2.8 to f4. If I push it to 5.6, 6.3, then it's okay.
True.
I have more detail to work with, and when I close my aperture, it's definitely an easier lens to work with. But when you shoot at f2, 2.8, it's really hard to pull focus, especially if you're far away from whatever you're focusing on. So you kind of have to shoot tight with a 35 and just hope that the focus point catches what you're trying to get rather than the background, and you're just in your head thinking, this is a great shot, and you open it up in Lightroom and you're like, this looks a lot different than what I shot.
Is there peaking on that camera?
On the 1DX?
Yeah.
No.
Interesting.
No.
Do you know when that like became a thing?
That, I think, opened up with the mirrorless, just the Canon R.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think the 1DX3, from what I know, doesn't have it. You would think even in video it would have it.
Right.
Nothing.
Dude, using it on the R6 is insane.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
It's nice that you can change the color of it too, but I've never seen a need to like change it from red because it's so obvious sometimes. Like, unless I'm shooting fall colors, but even then, like I think
red stands out the most. I mean, even the Fuji that I have with video, if I'm shooting manual, it has red, yellow, and green, I think, or blue. And you have like a variety of strengths that you want to use. I always keep it on high on red because that's usually the easiest to spot out.
True.
Especially if you're shooting in like the limelight and it's overexposed and you don't have a filter on yet, and you're like just trying to drop down your f-stop and you're trying to use like f22, f16, and you're like, let me just at least see where my point is with the red highlight, and you don't have a filter, then it's helpful because like you can just see where your focus is rather than not having it at all and just hoping that you're getting the focus point to your eye. It's a little hard. So yeah, luckily the Fujis have that. So
yeah, it must be a mirrorless thing then. It's got to be something with like a depth perception on the sensor to be able to actually tell, so we can like find it. It's like it's like that radar, like you know when you go to take a picture with the flash and it like shines a light. It's like checking distance. I think that's what that's doing.
I think so.
Could be wrong. I don't know. I love shooting in manual focus sometimes. I think I have one lens that doesn't have autofocus anymore. It broke after like a year, which is kind of sad. It's that 85. But I use it with peaking and it works super well. Even at like it goes down to 1.8, but it's still like it's quite a thick 1.8. Like the depth of focus on it is pretty wide. I've noticed that like it's different with my 50 mil. And even the 24 to 70, the 2.8, it's like a shallower depth of field. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
But yeah, it's definitely fun. It makes it like you're shooting film again, you know, like taking a little bit more control of it.
Yeah, it's nice. I have one thing in my kit. It's actually in front of us. I think it's my fake Helios. I think it's a 45 f2. I have It's for the Fujifilm. So instead of an XF mount, I have an adapter on it just to mount it on the camera. But of course, it's manual. So yeah, it's fun with the peaking. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And you should open it f2 the entire time. It's like, it's beautiful. The bokeh is really nice. It's just classic. And for video, I've used it once or twice, and it's really nice. It's soft, but it looks more natural, more aesthetic to the eyes and pleasing. And I if I could, kind of replace all of my glass with just manual lenses. Shoot wide open, 1.7. They're very odd.
Yeah,
1.3, 1.7, 1.8 once in a while. f2, 3. Like very odd.
It's like cinema lenses are like that. Like it'll go down like 0.95 or like and they're all T lenses instead of F. It's the same thing. But
I wouldn't complain. Give me a case of them, I'll use them.
yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, and like having primes. Oh, primes are so sharp. That's why I like that 85 so much. It wasn't very expensive, but it's like a super sharp lens, and I like put it on my older cameras, and I'm like still so stoked about it.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, even for the Hasselblad, I've never had a zoom. I think they made like 2 or 3 for the H series. They had a 35 to 90, a 50 to 110, maybe one other one, but I have a 35-35 and an 80-8, and that covers everything I need.
Yeah.
So if I want to shoot wide, I can do it, and it's not too stretched. Go to lens correction, Lightroom, Photoshop, and it'll just clean it up for you. The edges kind of get pulled back in, and you get a flatter image. So those are like the 2 nicest lenses that I have, and they're old.
Right.
It's old glass, but they work fine. So.
Dude, sometimes the older glass is way better. Like it's like
Optically, like you can see everything is like not as falsely scaled, or just looks more natural to the eye.
yeah. It's like when like people shoot with like a Leica M6, like the older ones. It's like that camera's like it's old, and the pictures that come out of it are insane. Part of it is because it's on film, but like the glass has a big part to do with that. It's not like this film is the sensor, and so the eye is the lens, and like those lenses are so sweet. Like every time I see, like Peter McKinnon's been shooting with Leica a lot lately. Like he's almost like completely switched to film. It's kind of cool to see, like, since seeing some of the photos. He's been in like Arizona filming some like Native American project. Some of his photos look so dope. I was like, that looks like a lot of fun.
It's funny seeing that guy's progression. I mean, not just him, but there's a lot of people that kind of switch from a clunky DSLR, like the 1DX, to like a Q2, Q3.
Yeah.
And even him, he had the 1DX Mark II for the longest time. He would vlog with that thing. I don't know how. You're seeing this. I don't know how you did that, but yeah, he had the 1DX on a Gorilla Pod for the longest time with a mic, with a Rode, and then he switched years later through so many variations of cameras.
Dude, that was so he could get that 4K 120.
Yeah. But when he got to the Leica, I think it was the Q2, and I think he got a monochrome or something. I don't know what kind he had, but he had a Leica Q2.
Yeah.
It was army green, flat green.
It looks so cool. That thing would be so fun to use. Oh,
that's a pocket holy grail of a camera. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
one of these days.
on the list.
Yeah, dude, I would even like, I mean, if I had the money, I would, or if sponsored by Leica, using the M11 monochrome. Yeah, hint, hint. Just using the monochrome camera, like, man.
Would kick all my cameras.
Oh, dude.
In a heartbeat. The stills that I've seen with people using the monochrome, and we were at a I think you were there. I had an event recently, another meet and shoot. Liam, our friend.
No, I didn't go to that one.
Yeah, Liam came to that one, and a guy there that I called it from, I believe Milton, he came and he had a Leica Q2 or Q3 monochrome. He had one on him.
Damn.
I didn't know what it was. He had a GH5, and then he put it around his neck, and I saw him pull out the smaller camera, and I ran up. I'm like, is that what I think it is? And it was the monochrome version.
Man, that was like the day we met. When you were holding the XE1, and I thought it was a Leica, because I like kind of walk over to my car. I'm like, oh, what are you guys shooting with? And I was like, is that a Leica? And you're like, no. I'm like,
I should have like slapped on a Leica sticker or something. In the
yeah. Do Van Nightstat Leica?
Yeah, Leica. Yeah, I miss that camera. Shout out to Fuji.
Dude, I actually miss it too. That thing was sick.
You bring it up every few months. You're like, you remember that?
It
like,
felt
yeah,
good.
It was a cool camera.
It felt good in the hand.
Felt really good in the hands. Like, did it even have a grip? Did it have a hand grip? I have there was an attachment hand grip for it.
I don't think so. Maybe like a little bit, like it was like stubby.
It was enough to hold on to.
It was, yeah.
I never dropped it.
I would love to put one of those thumb grips on it, because I mean I love using my X100F with that thing.
If I see another one, dirt cheap, I'd pick it up.
Yeah, I think I would too.
It was so simple. Like I started getting into exposure work with a Canon 6D, and then I got the XE1, and like right away I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun. And it had like a little screw on the shutter button, so you could hold down the shutter.
Right.
And I put on 2 filters, like gradient filters on the front of it, and I tried long exposures, and it came out so well. Such flat, soft images. I'm like, thank you, Fuji.
I remember that. I still have footage of you using it. Like you're with that orange tripod, and you've got the camera on, and you got the cable on. When we were at Scottsdale, that was fun.
Fun little camera.
That was that bridge you guys went to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't really picture where it was on the property.
All the way, you take the path through a
all
path,
the way down.
and then you just keep going.
It's definitely easier to get all the way down there when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
You're not like heating up, getting tired.
Yeah, I had cargo pants, long socks. My blunt stones were like swamps surrounding my feet. So annoying. Yeah. But it was okay. It was well worth it. A lot of people came out, so.
Yeah.
It was a nice turnout. I want to do that again. And it was through the city. Yeah. We have a couple of weeks, we can definitely do that again. And then fall is also around the corner, so that'd be nice. Get a whole group out there.
Dude,
winter, if they're willing, I know you and I will, but I want to go out with a group and just do a winter session because, yeah, I always talk about silent shots. That's the time to do it. You want to isolate something? Shoot on white.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so set. You can be out there for hours and you can find a leaf sitting on snow. Not saying you should be there for hours, but you could be there for as long as you want. Anything that it isolates it for you, it's half the battle.
It's like Platon in that documentary. Strip it down, just go for the core.
Yeah.
It's true. It's so true. Sometimes, like, it's really tricky to do that sometimes because you're looking at so many things. You're like, this all looks so beautiful. How do I, like, isolate the little pockets of things that I want to see? Which, it's tricky, man. Like, I don't know. There's some photographers, the woodland guys, that do it so well. And I think part of it, too, is, like, when you shoot early in the morning or late at night when there's, like, very soft lighting, it helps, especially if there's fog too, because then you can like see the air. It helps like with depth, and then you see more branches instead of it all just like being like camouflage, and it's all just like bunched together. Yeah, it's tricky, but
it's hard when you want to isolate color. That's one thing that can all be kind of reproduced or modified and in post. But when you want to shoot something and isolate, let's say it's a leaf, something like that, and it's surrounded by more color. You have to kind of work with as much depth as you can, but if you can't, I would say leave it. Scratch it. Put it on your bucket list. Go shoot something else. But if you're trying to isolate something, you can always mask it. You can do vignetting. You can add gradient mask if you wanted to. But I would say rather than trying to pick a battle with a shot, just keep it in the back of your mind.
True.
Because it's kind of hard sometimes, especially if there's too much color or distraction. Just why fight it?
I've noticed that sometimes where it's like I've gone back to the same place over and over again, like within like a span of 2 years, and the shot that I got at for beginning of the 2 years and then towards the end, they're completely different. Like you can tell, like as a photographer, I've grown and just like learned so many things. And and it's cool because like you can look at something and just be like, I'm gonna get a good photo of you one day. Like it's just a matter of time. I can't do it yet, but I'll figure out how to. That's good fun.
A lot of the same stuff though at Scottsdale too.
But dude, even then, like when we both go together, like the things that we see are both so different. Sometimes we shoot the same thing, but majority of the time it's not. Not at all. Yeah. I mean, part of that could be just so we're not eating each other's shots and like.
We don't do that too often, which is nice.
Yeah.
So it's helpful. I think if we were bad at doing that on the field, I can't imagine us at a job.
No.
So.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to work together for sure. It's like, get the hell on my shot.
No, we've never had an argument at a wedding yet.
No, I don't think that'll ever come up. No chance. No chance.
I've seen it.
What if we find somewhere that's like close to a GO station so they can take the train to more towards like Oakville and then just like go to a park that's like off the train. They don't have to walk very far because the railroad runs like right next to Lakeshore.
I did think about that. Most of them would probably just be going by by train.
Yeah, it's so cheap too. It's like
Yeah.
it's dumb easy.
Yeah. Jot that down.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea. But yeah, location's the biggest thing. We have a big crew of people. A lot of BTS photographers now. I still get hit up from people just wanting to do it, which is really cool. I mean,
Nice.
it's just a chance for everyone to kind of build off their own portfolio. Right? If you're going there for stills, shoot as long as you want.
Yeah.
Right? And same with modeling. If you don't have a modeling portfolio yet, this is a good chance to do it.
To get something. Yeah. Oh my God. Like you're gonna have fucking 5 to 10 like prime photographers
You'll be set.
there to just shoot you as much as they want.
Yeah. These aren't going to be like blank spreads. Like we're going to have octoboxes. Lighting's going to be there. We're going to have grips on set just helping us move everything.
I'm excited to make a little short film about it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
House of Blood's going to kill my back again.
Yeah.
It's well worth it. If you ever get a chance to hold one, and I use an older system, but if you ever get a chance to use the H on a job where it calls for it, good lighting conditions, you'll understand why I run 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's like it's
for sure.
helpful. It's so nice, and it's old technology, but you get a kick out of it. So yeah, if you get a chance, take it and run for the hills.
Oh, those things! It's such a real raw feeling using those.
And the shutter.
Yeah, it's such a cool sound. Like I
miss
could
it.
just record. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No, for real. I like when we were doing that shoot. I was like, you're the only one people can tell that actually just took a photo because everyone can hear it.
Something from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Cue the House of Blood shutter sound right now.
Nice.
But yeah, that thing is a tank.
Yeah.
That's why I literally have a hard shell for it.
True.
If I ever drop that down the stairs,
Oh fuck.
I can sit back. I shouldn't.
Yeah. No, it'll happen
that
and
mine?
you'll just run away. Like I can't even go and look.
Yeah. I feel like if somebody tried to rob me of that case, they'd give up halfway. Like, this is not worth it. I don't know what's inside, but...
This guy's traveling with a bomb. Why is it so heavy? I don't know. Are bombs heavy? I don't know. Probably.
I don't know.
Well, we just did 22 minutes, 23 minutes. I think that'll wrap it up for today's episode.
Yep.
We'll be back soon.
On to the next.
Thank you for joining me. And peace, everybody. Have a good day.